Going to move on to the weapons. For the one-handed characters, which are both the Legionnaire and the Templar, I have the Crescent Shadow, which I doubt many people have. I mean, quite a few do, but it's not widespread yet. I personally put the 14% heal on kill and the 5% attack. That is the curved longsword grip. I'll just go in here and show it to you real quickly. What I put in there was the Imperial Vestment Cotton and Everite. Now, you could use the Dawnstone for Armor Pen. That'd be a good choice too. 6% attack is probably best though if you're in Perilous or Nightmare. Dawnstone sort of takes over, and it takes over in Nightmare. But with some of the talents, like the Lego has a Shield Breaker, so it really only has a clear advantage with the Templar. So in a lot of cases, I just recommend that you put Everite on there. Now, for some reason, this attachment only gives you 5% attack instead of 6%. So I have never tested it and just gone ahead with the Paragon's Luster. I'm not sure if it drops it down to 4 or not. So if you don't have the materials, I guess you could always try it out and just do Paragon's Luster. But I like that one a lot. But some of you may not have the cotton to do Imperial. The difference between Imperial and Lustrous is it's tiny. 13%. For cotton, you get 11. So there's a little bit of a difference there. But if you can't afford to do one of these grips, I would probably do one of these. The offensive dense longsword. That way you can use your Great Bear Hide. Because a lot of times if you don't have the mats to put cotton on there, you need critical chance. Because the warriors, they have flow of battle. So critical chance is even more important. So say you have a Hakon's Honor, which has 100% critical damage. You 99.9% of the time want to put extra critical chance on. You want to crit as much as possible to take advantage of that huge crit damage bonus. So you'd probably want to go that, and then throw on some attack, and call it a day. For the halves, there's a half that's exactly this. Oops. There's a half that is almost identical to the curved longsword grip. It is the wrapped one-handed haft. It's going to be the same thing, Imperial Vestment, Everite. So it gives you an idea of what I would do with the one-handers. Now, for instance, say you have something that you already have max critical damage, you don't have the cotton, or you don't want to put heal and kill, you could always use critical damage in the other the non-curved greatsword, non-wrapped one-handed haft. But I'm just going to go ahead and give you a couple look at the other weapons. Hakon's Honor is great. It's definitely the second best weapon in the game for one-handers. Go with that. I have the same attachment. If you don't have one of those, the Bitter Axe is really good. See, I have a wrapped one-handed haft on this. It's the 14% heal on kill and the 5% attack. This is pretty cool because it has 15% base critical chance, which is awesome. So if you don't have this, you don't have the Crescent Shadow, you should get this pretty soon. This is not extremely rare by any means. If you don't have one of those, the Valus Atrodam is pretty sweet. I have that on my alt account. It sucks that you can't put an upgrade on it, but you do what you gotta do. And then if you don't have that either, the Longsword of the Dragon is also pretty good. You just use the same grip. I probably wouldn't waste heal and kill on this because it already has 9% heal and kill, but this is a perfect candidate for the dense longsword grip, one with critical chance and attack on it. For shields, it really depends on what weapon you're using. If you're using the Crescent Shadow or something other than the Hakon's Honor, you definitely want to use the Estenol for the 10% Walking Fortress. It's got a 10-second internal cooldown, so you see it proccing a lot. I mean, it's huge. This thing is overpowered. So try to get your hands on one of these. If you don't have this, or you're using a Hakon's Honor because the procs don't stack and Hakon's Honor has the same Walking Fortress proc, I would personally, if you don't have range defense capped, go with this. It's awesome. It's basically the March of the Everlasting, but instead of melee defense, you get range defense, and you also get 5 cunning instead of the 8 or the 4 strength. So the difference is marginal. I just prefer these stats if you don't have the max defense. If you do have max defense, probably don't need this help, but the March of the Everlasting is a good one. I do not have a Mage Hunter. So I've never gotten to try that, and a lot of people have told me that it's awesome. So if you want to, give that a go, and I'll be jealous. For accessories, the Lego and the Templar are pretty much exactly the same, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop those out. Like I said, the physical immunity amulet's going to be on all the characters. If you don't have the physical immunity, I would use the stamina amulet, or whichever one you have. Master, Superb, Enhanced. They're all really good. Increasing your stamina pool is huge. If you don't have one of those, maybe you have the amulet renewal. I doubt it, but that's a good one as well. It's not quite as good as increasing the max stamina pool, but it helps get you your stamina back faster. And if you don't have one of those, I'd probably use an Amulet of Cunning or an Amulet of Willpower. After that, probably down to the Superb Amulet of Constitution. And that goes for the Lego and Templar. Belts, like I said, Belts of Health is on this character. And for rings, this is where your promotions come into question. For a lot of people, the Superb Ring of Critical Chance is going to be best on the Warriors because of flow of battle, especially if you have a hack-on weapon. And if you have a Ring of Life Drain, don't have Heal and Kill on your weapon, it's definitely necessary. I try to shoot for like 20%. I used to go for lower. I thought like 10, 15 is fine, but eventually if your promotions get high enough, there's no reason not to have the little bit of extra heal and kill. Just makes your life a little bit easier. You don't even have to think a lot of times. Nightmare becomes pretty one-shotty anyway. So it makes you be able to face tank even better. And if you're not heavily promoted, you actually need the heal and kill even more. So I would definitely try to shoot for 15-20%. So with the sword, say I have 14, you add a life drain ring, you have 24%. It's a quarter of your health every time you kill something. It's great. So try to shoot for that. Now, if your promotions aren't as high and you don't have like a critical chance ring, attack's always a solid option. It's not bad. Works, it gives you that, extra 0.1 modifier on all attacks, whether it's a crit or not. And if you don't have any of those, some of the better rings, in my opinion, are probably the Shield Bash ring. That one's really good. I use Shield Bash on most of my warriors, especially if I plan to actually be doing DPS. That one's pretty good. That's pretty much the only ones I use on the Lego and Templar. The Wrath of Heaven ring sort of sucks. It's like duration, I think, yeah. Let's see here. I have far too many rings. Oh no, it's damage. But the damage really only happens against the demons, which demons are a cakewalk anyway. So I just never saw a point in using this ring. Alright, let's look at the two-handers. This is my favorite two-handed weapon. It's probably my favorite item in the game right now, other than the physical immunity amulet. It's got the high base damage and the two pretty sweet procs. Horn of Valor is awesome. I put the crit damage and attack on there. Which happened to be the firm greatsword grip. Go ahead and take a look at them. Sort of sucks how the halves and greatsword grips are all different. I wish they had just left them the same. But yeah, it's right here. Like I said, since I have max critical chance, I just put extra crit damage and attack on there. I should have armor pen on there. I've contemplated changing it multiple times, but I'm too lazy. I don't want to freaking do it. And it's not a big enough difference that I'm going to take the time to. Could do it even right now, but it's just not worth it. If I ever really want to, I will. Another good option if you needed it, the crit chance, like I said, a lot of times if you don't have max crit, I would just put the crit chance on there. Just go with critical that, and again throw an attack. So you'd get 11 and 6. Now the halves are the same no matter what, or the pommels rather. So I always put the etched one on there. Again, I just do attack and critical damage. If you need the critical chance, just go Great Bear Hide and use that. It's a really good little combo. I think that, what does that total out to? Like 17% critical chance and 16 attack. Now, I will mention this, if you are one of the unlucky ones and never got any heal and kill rings, and for some reason you have a Hakon's Valor or a high quality Dancer's Axe or something where you want to put heal and kill on it, you can use this Ornate Pommel. Imperial Vestment will get you 8% heal and kill on it. Lustrous will give you 7. Cotton will give you 6. So you can go that route if you need to. I don't do this because I don't like having heal and kill on the Reaver. I like to use Dragon Rage to drop my health below 50%, and then I use the Superb Belt of Urgency. Now, if you're not at the point where you can do that reliably, this is not a bad option. It's just not my cup of tea. I don't want it on the Reaver. Now, for the Avar and Katari, it's cool because it opens up a ring slot. So just keep it in mind. It's a good option. I know K-Meg on the forums likes this, as does the Bruh. So it might work for you. This is probably the second best item. I added pure critical damage. The halves are different than the greatsword grips, and they actually have one that has all offensive lever. It's the bound two-handed haft. You can just put all critical chance or all critical damage. It's pretty cool, actually. This is a sweet axe. If you don't have the Hakon's Valor and you got your hands on this, you should feel lucky. Stonebreaker's pretty good, but you can't put any grips on it. And I'm just going to scroll down. This baby is freaking amazing. That is a sweet maul. You can put straight critical chance on it. My alt account actually has one with plus 30 critical chance total. You got an extra 21%. It's pretty sweet. Skywatchers Cleavers, great. You can put whatever you want on it, critical chance or critical damage. It already has a ton of heal on kill. And then this is the best item in the game back in the day. Oh, so good. Anyone who didn't get to play with this and you get your hands on it, you need to try it out in Perilous. I mean, it was hands down the best item in the game before Dragon Slayer DLC. So for the two-handed warriors, like I said, physical immunity amulet, belt of health. Same concept as the Lego and Templar. If you need crit chance, go crit chance. If you have max crit, there's nothing wrong with the critical damage. I do not have the heal and kill on the weapon, so I just use 2 superb life chain rings for 20% heal and kill. That's what I would recommend for anybody that doesn't have any heal and kill on their weapon. It's your best options. Second best would be the crit chance or critical damage. Attack's good if you have no stats. Some of the better ability ones for this character would probably be Mighty Blow. Charging Bull's not bad, but its base weapon damage modifier is not as high as Mighty Blow. So a lot of times when you're trying to pick between rings, I try and take whichever one has the highest ability damage, because it's percentage based, so 30% of a higher number is more, right? Just go that route. Avar, I'm just going to take a quick peek at it so you know if anybody's looking. It's the same thing. Both of these, same as the Lego and Templar, I would definitely go Stamina as your backups for the Katari, Reaver, Avar. If you don't have it, or the physical immunity, you want to go for your best Stamina amulet. If you don't have that, best amulet's probably Renewal, and then Cunning, Willpower.